Okay, the cost of 3 pounds of grapes is $6.57. What is the constant of proportionality that relates to the cost in dollars, Y, to the number of pounds of grapes, X? So basically, they're telling you to divide. When they're asking for constant of proportionality, they're asking you to divide or to find the unit rate. So what we need to do is 657 divided by 3. Okay, so then you're going to go ahead and divide it. So that's going to be 2. Remainder 0. Bring the 5 down. 1. So that's 3. 2. Bring the 7 down. And that's going to be 9. So my answer is C. So whenever they're asking you for constants of proportionality, all you're doing is dividing. You're dividing it. Okay, now when they're asking you what is X and what is Y, well, 657 is your Y, B is going to be your X, and then the constant of proportionality is C. So when they ask you also, this means unit rate. Okay. In the scale used on a blueprint, 1/4 inch represents 2 feet. On the blueprint, what is the length for of a room with an actual length of 20 feet? What? Okay, so if they have 20 feet and you know that 1/4 of an inch equals to 2 feet, then you would write inches and feet, and this is going to be X over 20, which is the same as 1/4 over 2. So in order for me to go this way, so if 1/4 equals 2 feet, so we have 1/4 equals 2 feet, then 1/2 will give you 1 foot. Then 3/4 is 4 feet, sorry. This is going to be 5 feet, and then actually 6 feet, excuse me. And then 1 will give you 8 feet. So in order for me to find out how much is 20 feet, we just need to divide 20 by 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and divide 20 by 8, sorry. So that's going to be 2 times, which is 16, remainder 4. And that's going to be a decimal and a 0. Bring it down. And that's going to be 5. So my answer is 2.5, which is letter D. So it says Riley has a total budget of $2,000 for his monthly expenses. Her expenditures are shown on the circle graph below. So they gave you percentages for everything except clothing. So they're asking for number 1 to say how much money is budgeted for clothing a month. So that means I need to find out how much that is. In order to find out the clothing budget, we need to find the percent first. So what would we need to do in order to find that missing percent? Yeah, you add all the percentages and then you subtract it from 100. So you're going to go ahead and add 5 plus 20 plus 60. So that's going to be 85. So if we're subtracting 85 from 100, that's going to give you 15. Okay, so it is 15%. So clothing will be 15%. And we're going to find out how much money is dedicated for clothing on her budget. So what we do is we set it up as a proportion. So we have 15 over 100. And then you go ahead and find out how much that is out of 2,000. So then how many times, we could do scale factor, so how many times does 100 go into 2,000? 20. So then that means I could multiply 20 times 15. So that's going to be 0, 10, and 3. So that means that out of her budget, 300 is dedicated for clothing. Any questions on that? Okay, let's look at number 2. So how much more food is set aside in the budget for housing than for food? So we're going to go ahead, more money, not food. We're going to go ahead and subtract those. So 60 minus 20, because that's housing, and that's food. So that's going to be 40%. So now all we have to do is find 40% of 2,000. So that's going to be x over 2,000. So again, it is times 20, isn't it? The scale factor? Yes? Okay, so then all we have to do is multiply 40 times 20, and that's going to be 8 and added 2 zeros. So that means that $800 more are reserved for housing than for food. And the last one, it says how much money is set aside for entertainment and food. So because they're saying entertainment and food, you're adding those two percentages. So that's going to be 20 plus 5, which is 25. So then we have 25% out of 100, and we're going to find out how much that is out of 2,000. So again, it is times 20. Your scale factor, it is times 20. So then we go ahead and multiply 25 times 20. And that's going to give you how much? How much? 500. 25 times 20 is 500. So that means $500 is reserved for food and entertainment. Okay, any questions on any of that? Okay, so like I said, I do have an assignment that you need to work on, but I'd rather you finish any missing assignment that you got that I told you. If you're done and have no missing assignment, then you need to work on this. And I do have copies, and I'll go ahead and give them to you. So make sure you turn it in when you're done.